Just watching these blackbirds, I'm surprised I can get so close to them. They're so fearless and they love this area. I'm in the Walmart parking lot and these blackbirds are just acting all like ravenous for whatever is there. They don't seem to be eating the berries. They're more about turning over leaves and eating everything. They got a weird mannerism to them though. They'll look at you funny. They have to rely on their eyes, like where our ears are, their eyes are, and they have to look around weird. They must interact with a lot of people. There's a robin off in the distance. I'm surprised there's so many birds just hanging out here. I'm just sitting here with my car running. There's like 5 okay, these robins are just, oh, one robin just swallowed a whole berry. So the robins will eat the berries. Robins are like omnivores. And then there's some weird brown bird. And the robins were just fought off by the brown bird. So yeah, they like to look for food on their own and then watch their competitors, and if their competitors are acting all excited, they'll fight them off for the feeding ground. What a weird mannerism, no? I mean, just spending all day rooting through the ground, upturning leaves for grubs, I guess, or worms or bugs. Oh, he's eating something white there. What are you eating there, buddy? Is it good? Yeah, they don't have a lot of fear of humans around here. They deal with the humans quite a bit. It takes time to develop that fear, or to work to get used to that fear. All the humans around. I know in Rice Lake, if I was this close, I'd freak out. They gotta maintain a good 20 feet distance. But here, I was tapping on my window and everything. I saw a raccoon in Anacortes at the library. He's going to check out a book. I tapped on the window, he looked at me, and then started running away a little faster. So it's the raccoon is kind of scared. It was in town too. He was in a pretty good section of town. He must hide underneath the house. This little guy seems like he's onto something, hanging out under this bush. I have no idea why. Just looking under every single leaf. He's calculating. I don't mean to sit here with my car running like this. I'm kind of fascinated. They remind me of chickens, the way they act. Oh, take a poop and run. Alright, great. Yeah, Oak Harbor is strongly supported by the military. It's a lot of rental signs that are up. Well, not a lot, but a fair amount. But it's enough to let you know that people are here temporarily. This could be a good area for an investing opportunity if you wanted to buy some property and just rent it out to military people based solely on their employment. There's a little controversy with some kind of planes they're leaving or something. They're pulling the jobs of these fighter pilots or something. People want to support the training. This whole town seems like it's supported by the military. You do see quite a few of these homes that seem more like levee towns or something. Just so many homes. But they're clean. That's the thing. Everything is really picked up after. And they don't let anything go to waste. I mean, wow, they got a fence just to hold back this blackberry problem, which blackberries are definitely a big problem. They only have it on one side though. I don't know why that is. there was a trailer court that seemed to have been recently removed. I'm a little surprised what's going on there. It's maybe an acre or two. A lot of say no, not a single trailer. There's only the signs that say there's a trailer court. But all the trailers, it looks like the grass is kind of like they're freshly removed or something. But yeah, it's your military type of town. Everything's the same, and there's really I haven't found a single home, maybe like a partial home that has junk laying out. Everyone else has been picking up after themselves really good. It's quite impressive. But that's it. You know, and in fact, I even passed by a house where somebody was just moving in. So you got that. It's your highly transitional type of town with your 1 or 2 year duties, and then you're out, and it's Navy. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. You can really hear that jet engine. That occurs maybe every hour, once every hour during the daytime. They really love to fly them jets. As you can see, there's a little kind of a scenic area. I'm not too far from the actual bay, and the bay might be visible if the fog cleared. So it's probably ahead of me. I've never been on this trail. I don't know where it leads, but it's kind of isolated. This is the grassland that they want to protect. I'm sure it's really pretty in the summer, but yeah, right now it's winter time. Weather's nice, maybe mid 40s again. Last night was not as chilly as the night before. The night before I had frost on my car, so that was surprisingly cold. I felt it. But last night, no frost, and it didn't feel as desperate. This is that time of year, usually when I was in Wisconsin, January 15th to February 15th, where you could absolutely expect the coldest weather, because the weather tends to follow the sun pattern. It takes a month after the shortest day of the year to actually get cold, because the climate has to still adjust to that. It's kind of a delayed reaction to the relation of how the sun's positioned and its influences and all that. Yeah, this city, once again, it's a military, highly transitional town. People pick up after themselves. It's hard to find trash around here, and there's a lot of places that are pretty equalized. Up there, I guess, is a nicer area. So that's maybe hillsides are where you'll find your wealthier people who are willing to pay for that better view of the bay. In fact, I was reading some literature about the settlers, and a guy quoted in 1850 said, "This is it. You know, this is the place we've found where we're looking for." And they settled down. A bunch of hair there. Something might have died, but there's no bones or meat. I don't know. So I'm probably approaching the bay, me and another guy, so I want to be kind of cautious and careful. That's another pet owner. A lot of pet owners around, out walking. It's kind of rare to find people who walk like me by themselves. Usually they'll bring a friend or a pet, but my friend isn't the camera, so that's good enough. So my car is not far from here, so I'm able to do a little more exploring. I moved my car from the library to Walmart, and Now it's just kind of me circling around. Just gonna capture a little bit more of this area. You got this park over here that I'm approaching from Walmart not too far away in Albertsons. And you got the background there. It's just scenic area. There are a lot of people out here. Most likely during the summer. This last week on Martin Luther King Day there were a lot. So yeah. Okay. So I walked for, I don't know, maybe an hour or so around the city. It looked nice. I was trying to pay attention to the license plates in the cars to see if there were any cars from other states, and there's a few. I saw one from Wisconsin like myself, so I kind of fit in. I just don't have the stickers on the windshield like in the military. But yeah, I think maybe retirees stay here to take advantage of the commissary. That's usually a priority to people who have retired because they still get those benefits. They get the security benefits to only go to the shopping. And there is a commissary on that Navy base. I remember somebody was telling me about that. They like that privilege. Probably medical and other perks that come along with retirement. So that may explain why I see a few more Washington plates in other states. Could be that these military people are sticking around the base more. I'm not sure. But yeah, this is a strong military town. I mean, if you look at the population, say my previous video, there's the population boom that occurred in the 1940s, but the census didn't come out till the 1950, and you see 1,000% boom. Well, that's because the Navy base went up in 1942. So they had 8 years within the 40s to really bring in people. But then even throughout the 50s, I mean, that's the Levittown issue. They created more homes, and that was kind of a boom. I think that was like 800%. But yeah, say World War II brought a huge boom of population here, and then throughout the 50s as well after the war. And then it's stabilized since then. And then it's just been the support for the military. This has been a defense, so we're well protected from the raiders. And I was reading history. Now, I always thought this Washington area, that when the Indians lived here, the Suckamite or Sioux, the Yakima or whatever their names, they were getting raided. All right, they were a fairly peaceful tribe themselves, but they were getting like raids from Alaska and the Canadian regions from other Indians who were coming down and raping and pillaging their villages. So they had to make defenses, even back in the Indian times. I wasn't sure. You know, I was always curious, how were these Indians living here? Were they just a peaceful bunch of tribes that were intermixing? They said that they like to interbreed. They like to breed with other tribes, not within their own. They weren't like encouraging the marrying your sister or cousin, all that. They were really spreading themselves out, but they still had enemies, and that the enemies apparently were coming from the north to steal women. And maybe that helped a little bit, but I mean, stealing women, that's one thing for breeding, crossbreeding, but to pillage and destroy areas too, now that's going a little too far. So they had to build up a defense against that. And I guess even our early settlers that lived here, the white settlers, they had problems with the raiders as well. So that was a problem. And our first settler came, I think, in 1850. So they had problems before that, the Indians and all that. But then, yeah, I guess that started working itself out. And now we have a military base, and that's what's largely supporting this area. You can see it's a transitional area. They don't really have a traditional looking feel to it. They're not working hard at trying to make this area look like it did in 1900, like, say, the south of Bellingham, where in south of Bellingham, Fairhaven, they have an ordinance whenever a new business comes in. They have to make the outside look like it was built in 1900. But here, big box stores all over. So there's allowing the chains to come in. Maybe it's something the troops can relate to. That's probably what you'll find in a lot of military towns. Highly transitional towns is the big box stores, the franchises, and all that. As people travel, they'll see the same thing, and it'll be more familiar and welcoming, instead of all those small town businesses that are doing their own thing and got their own rules. You know, a lot of these small town businesses don't allow peeing on their property, but you can. Well, all Walmarts allow you to pee in their buildings. Okay. All McDonald's allow you to pee in there. That's a standard. It's not just about the food. It's about the culture. You expect every burger is going to look the same. Every bathroom is going to be clean. Unlike the small town businesses who struggle. That's just your difference there. You got to deal with. But yeah, I like this town. It is nice. It's a little too military. Compared to, say, Blaine has a lot of border patrol. I don't know, I feel more on edge about the military being around than I do the border patrol, because I know border patrol only care about the border. When I get close to it, they just, they'll probably watch me, but they'll keep their distance. Military, it's not just the security, it's all kinds of jobs and stuff. You'll have just a wider range in the military of Navy pilots and people who do sonar and radar and all that. There's going to be just a wider mix of personalities. And I've seen a lot of people wear black. Not like me, like leather and black boots and stuff. It's like there's talk about an anarchy club in Eugene, Oregon. It even acknowledges it on Wikipedia, and maybe they do extend further north. This type of anarchist type lifestyle, or people just like to wear the long black coats and all that. I think that it might be a military thing too, a little bit. They have their own culture, but yeah, it's a highly secured area. Not like what it's like in Blaine on the border with the border patrol. The military gives a different feel. It's kind of hard to describe, but yeah, just don't wander onto the base. That's it. Keep your distance, and you'll be fine. So yeah.